So, looks like you're planning a trip to Hong Kong Disneyland, or maybe you're just a curious Disney fan. Watch this video for a look at Disney's two most luxurious hotels at Hong Kong Disneyland. Hi guys, Gio here for Independent Guides, and today we're taking a look at Hong Kong Disneyland's newest hotel, the Disney Explorers Lodge, and the most expensive hotel, the Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel. We'll start with the Disney's Explorers Lodge Hotel. This is the mid-price hotel of the three on-site options, and it opened in April 2017. It's also the largest of the three hotels, with 750 rooms. The resort is split into four wings, each with its own theme: Polynesia, Asia, South America, and Africa. And the overall theme of the hotel is exploration, of course. As you walk in, you're greeted by a beautiful grand lobby, and if you've been to Admiral Kingdom Lodge, it has a quite similar vibe to that. It feels homey, yet still really impressive. Outside, the hotel has a big main pool in the middle, which looks out onto the South China Sea, and there are four themed gardens, as well as an indoor kids club called Nemo's Recreation Reef, and they've also got poolside activities in the evening. Disney Explorers Lodge doesn't have a hotel gym, but a great benefit staying here, and actually at any of the three on-site Disney hotels, is that guests can use the gym, sauna and steam room at the Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel, and I'll talk a bit more about that later. For food options, there's a quick service place called Chart Room Cafe, which we found to be good. There's also the table service World of Colour restaurant, which offers world cuisine. Sadly, I was really disappointed with my meal here, so learn from me, avoid the seafood pizza. I don't know what I was thinking getting a seafood pizza in Hong Kong anyway. And lastly, they have a Chinese restaurant called Dragon Wind. To get over to the park, the easiest way is to take the shuttle bus, and these are going to drop you off at the bus station 5 minutes from the park entrance. You can also walk from the hotel to the park, and that's about 20 minutes, but to be honest, in the humidity it's not really any fun. As for the room, this has to be one of my favourite hotel rooms I've ever stayed in. First of all, the rooms are huge, especially compared to downtown Hong Kong that we just visited. As you come in, you have a luggage storage area and clothes hanging area to the left. Next to that is the tea and coffee area, and for each night of our stay, you get two huge 1.5 litre complimentary bottles of water, which, if you thought the humidity in Florida was bad, just wait until you get to Hong Kong. Drinking water is an absolute must. There's lots of choices of tea and coffee. It's interesting to note that they've gone for the British style kettle brew here instead of the coffees made in capsule machines like the Nespresso. Under all of this is a mini fridge which was empty, so there was lots of room to put our drinks in here. Under the open wardrobe you'll find some slippers and some robes. Unfortunately the robes were a bit scratchy, to be honest, they weren't the fluffy type. To the right as you come into the room is a huge vanity area. There's no door for this bit here, so it's separate from the main bathroom which has a sliding door. Inside the main bathroom there is a large shower, there's the loo itself, and of course you'll find H2O products for those that are big fans of these. Going back to the vanity area, there are some more H2O lotions here, as well as this big Disney's Explorers Lodge amenity kit tin. Inside you're going to find a razor, kids toothbrushes, adult toothbrushes, toothpaste, a comb, and a few other hygiene bits. Onto the main bed area, you'll find two queen beds with characters above the headboards. I really appreciated that little shelf with the power plugs next to each side of the bed. There's lots of storage in this cupboard, but this isn't a traditional chest of drawers you might expect. There's a safe, which is big enough to fit my 12-inch MacBook and an iPad easily. There's a desk with a standard chair, and there's also this little cute drum stool. And there's also this window out to the garden with a seating area, kind of a lounge area built in. You can also see how close together all the hotels are, as that blue building is Disney's Hollywood Hotel. Also included in the room were dining and merchandise vouchers, which we didn't expect but was a lovely bonus. And you also get a certain number of priority admission into attractions depending on which room you book. And that's it for the Explorers Lodge Hotel. Now onto the Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel. If you've been to the Grand Floridian in Walt Disney World or the Disneyland Hotel in Paris, then this place is going to feel really quite familiar. It's about half the size of the Explorers Lodge and it has 400 rooms. The Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel is a 5-star hotel, whereas the Explorers Lodge was a 4-star hotel. And you can definitely tell a difference in the service here. It's a little bit more casual at the Explorers Lodge. That's not necessarily a bad thing, as I'm not really into the stuffy service that some places give, but I think the Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel had a really nice balance for a 5-star hotel. The lobby here is a lot smaller and more intimate than at the Explorers Lodge. It has a beautiful chandelier, and in the evening you'll often hear some live music here as well. And sometimes you'll spot characters here, but you'll also spot characters at the Explorers Lodge as well. This is also the closest hotel to the parks. So you can either take the shuttle bus, which will drop you off at that bus station 5 minutes walk from the parks, or you can walk directly from the hotel to the park, which will take about 10 minutes. Moving on to the leisure facilities, there is an outdoor pool with a water slide, there's an outdoor hot tub as well, there's sun loungers, and there's a poolside bar. This is your only quick service food option at the resort, and it's only open seasonally. There's also a gym, which for a hotel gym actually wasn't bad at all. And the changing rooms have access to a steam room, a sauna, an indoor hot tub, and a really beautiful indoor pool as well. Remember, guests from all 3 Disney on-site hotels have complimentary access to these amenities, but it's really nice to have them on site. I used all of these on my last day and they were fantastic. They were great to relax in. As well as those fitness facilities, you've got an outdoor playground, there's a tennis court, there's a maze, there's a kids activity center, and they also have a few special events throughout the day. So in the morning, they do Tai Chi with Goofy, there are character meets throughout the day, and then in the evening, there's a story reading session. And the last big thing you can do at the hotel is that there's a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique Princess experience. So there's lots of entertainment at the hotel itself. As for food, as well as the outdoor pool bar, you have Walt's Cafe, which is a table service restaurant, and this is some of the best food I've ever had at Disney, and it was a decent price. There's also a character buffet called Enchanted Garden Restaurant, which was quite pricey, and surprisingly it was fully booked when we were there, even though the hotels and the parks felt really empty. And lastly, you have a fine dining Chinese restaurant called Crystal Lotus. On weekends and public holidays, they have a special Disney character dim sum menu that you can pre-book. And of course, remember, there is no other quick service option apart from that outdoor pool bar. Could be a bit of a problem if you don't want to have a sit down breakfast. Onto the rooms, we stayed in a standard room with a balcony, and there are also rooms without balconies available, but they're exactly the same. The hotel also has a club level, which they call the Kingdom Club, and this has regular rooms and suites, and they also have themed character rooms, so they have Cinderella and Frozen character rooms. All the club level rooms have access to a lounge with snacks, and they start at about $260 more per night than the non-club level rooms. Personally, I don't really think it's very good value for money at all. So here's a look at our standard room with a balcony. So as you come into the room, you have the bathroom on your right, and this has a shower and bathtub combo. It has a huge mirror with a sink, and the toilet of course on the left, and then you have these cute little amenity kits which are themed to the 7 Dwarves, and of course H2O Disney products as well. Unlike the room at the Explorers Lodge, the sink is in the same room as the shower, bath and toilet, which means if you're traveling as friends, it's not as convenient to have the sink in the same room. Opposite the bathroom, we have a closet style wardrobe with space for clothes and luggage if you want, and there's robes and slippers and a hairdryer in there. Again, the robes were very scratchy. Next to that is the tea and coffee area. This is very similar to the one at the Explorers, which has a kettle, there's some china, 2 big bottles of water per day, there's a fridge and a safe here as well. As for the main bedroom, we have 2 comfy beds. Interestingly, these are double beds, which means that they're smaller than the queen beds at the Explorers Lodge. The room actually is smaller as well. It's only 1 square meter difference, so this is 35 square meters. It's not a big difference, but it's interesting to see that the 5-star hotel and property doesn't necessarily mean you get a bigger room or bigger beds. Of course, you have the TV with storage space underneath, there's a table and chairs, and then the balcony. I'll show you a shot of the outside in a minute. And you can see all around the room the lamps and the wooden headboards and the paintings, they all add to this Victorian Disney theme. And here's the view from our garden view balcony. So we actually were upgraded, and here we're looking towards the front entrance of the hotel. You've got the beautiful mountains in the distance of Lantau Island. You can just about see the top of the new castle, but they're definitely garden views, not theme park views. To give you an idea of pricing, during low season for a standard room at either of the hotels, the price is actually exactly the same. It's $255 per night, and for most of the year the pricing doesn't vary between the Explorers Lodge and the Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel. It's only during really high seasons where the Explorers Lodge caps out at $390 a night, whereas the Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel goes up to $550 a night. So overall, I really enjoyed both hotels, but for different reasons. The Explorers Lodge felt more modern and more relaxed. I liked the theming a lot more there. I liked that it had the quick service, which was great for breakfast and for whenever I didn't feel like I needed a full table service meal. But I like the Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel for that extra level of service. The food at Walt's was fantastic. The fact that there was the sauna and the gym on site, but remember, we could have accessed those from all the other hotels. And finally, it's nice being that little bit closer to the parks, because that way we could just walk in 10 minutes, guaranteed. We didn't need to wait for any shuttles. Hong Kong Disneyland itself can easily be seen in one day. If you're staying for 2 nights, then maybe consider splitting your stay between both hotels so you can try them both. They're right next to each other. If you're just going to be staying for 1 night, then it is a tougher choice. Personally, I think I'd probably go back to the Explorers Lodge. I liked it that little bit better with the theming. If you're not interested in the gym or in the sauna, then the Explorer's Lodge should win 100%. It's got a nice pool, it's a nice theme, and it sometimes is that tiny little bit cheaper. All the Disney hotels are really handy if you're doing a stopover in Hong Kong, and if you want to stay near the airport but not at the airport, it's a 15-minute taxi journey away, and that's usually about $15 for the transfer. So that's our look at Disney Explorer's Lodge and the Hong Kong Disneyland Hotel. If you're planning a trip to Hong Kong Disneyland, be sure to check out our guidebook, The Independent Guide to Hong Kong Disneyland. This covers all 3 hotels in detail. We cover every ride, every show, attraction in the parks, all the different seasonal events, how to save time, there's a touring plan, and there's lots of info about the ins and outs of how the parks work as well. You can get the guidebook either as an ebook or as a print book, and the links are in the description. If you use coupon code YouTube for the ebook, you'll get an exclusive discount as well. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel to help us out. And if you enjoy Disney and theme park videos, then please check out the rest of our channel. I've been Gio for Independent Guides, and we'll see you in the next video.